Hi everyone, this is Grayson, and this is some features and how to use this Deckover Tilt trailer from Forest Trailer Rental. First up, we got hooking up the trailer. So when you need to hook up this trailer, this jack is going to be down and it's spring loaded. But when you need to hook up to the truck, you need to release this pin right here and it'll slam up. So keep your fingers out of the way. And then when you're hooking up, you obviously lower onto a 2 5/16 ball and you hook up the 7 pin. And then you hook up the 2 chains, preferably crisscross, but if you can't, you can't. And you also hook up this emergency brake disconnect. And then you also put this pin inside of here and lock it up. And then what we have is inside the box here. You have the battery, you have the fuse for the winch, then you have a switch to turn the winch on, you have the winch remote, and then the hydraulic controls for the deck. And you have the reservoir and motor for that. All the next up, we got the spare tire, and that explains itself. Then you got the winch up here. And before you try and tilt this deck, you're gonna have to, when you do tilt it, you're gonna have to press up, and then power down for if you want to go down, and then gravity down for if you don't have power. But you have to unlock these latches here first. There's one on each side. So what you do, you pull this lever on the back side here, and you pull this back, and then you lift that back, and you can leave it there. And then you have one on both sides. Now you're ready to tilt the deck up. And when you know when to stop is when the back end of the trailer hits the ground. So you're going to see that tail hit the ground, and that spring loaded, that goes up. And then you wait till it's all the way to the ground. Load capacity of this trailer is 9,300 pounds as stated on the stickers. So you can go higher, and in emergency situations, if you need to change a tire, then you can go higher and it'll lift the axles up depending on how you have your hitch set up in the truck. Then what you got beneath here is all the hydraulic stuff, obviously, and then a box for all the spare chains and binders and what do you call it? Tire thing. And then the wheel chocks and some blocks, and the 4-way for changing the tire. And in here you also have the bottle jacks and then the straps and all that kind of stuff. So to operate the winch, to do that, you have to initially turn on this switch right here. Then you have to press and hold this remote if you want to do it wirelessly for 3 seconds. And it'll turn on, it'll say wireless. And if you have it wired, you can just plug it in, it should say wired. And you have to turn a switch on here in the box in order to switch it to wired or to wireless. And then what you do after that is you just press the out button or the in button, and you have to pull on the winch cable as you're going out and then kind of guide it in. Make sure it's kind of nice and even and not stacking too much on one side or the other. And then you have the option to also free spool or be engaged right there, so you can pull it out manually, or you can just use the winch remote to get it out. The feature that we offer is the auxiliary lights. So you have one in the toolbox here, then you have one up above here, and you have 4 lights, one both in back of the mud flaps, and then 2 on the deck for if you need work in the nighttime and you can't see shit.